All right, today got a little treat in store. We are going to take the E-Cells and compare it to a couple other bikes. My buddy got the wired Cruiser about the same time I did. I'm going to take it over to his house and do a side-by-side comparison for the E-Cells to the wired Cruiser. And here's my dog leg mountain bike, trail bike. Not exactly an apples to apples comparison with these two bikes. But I'm going to take the E-Cells today on a trail that I have been taking this bike on, just a 14-mile loop out in the Malibu Canyon. And I figured, why not show the old Marin, old pedal bike. Look, I can lift this one up easy. Unlimited range on this one. I don't have to worry about the battery dying. You can see these two bikes. The difference in size is just kind of hilarious. Bike looks tiny compared to this thing. Just look how tall it is compared to me. Right up to my chest, pretty much. Gorgeous bike. That little customized bullet valve stem on it. Huge brake rotors, 203 millimeter. Bike comes with a cool toolkit, 2 batteries. Should get plenty of range out of this thing. I'm thinking after this little 14-mile loop that this bike can only do once and is damn near dead afterwards, that I should be able to go easily take that bike around and do it another time if I want. We'll see. All right. Well, one thing I have been curious about for a long time, I've waited 41 days for this bike to come, is am I going to be able to get this beast into the back of my truck? How hard is it going to be? I know I can, but how hard is it going to be? So I know I could turn it on and probably pop a wheelie, but I want to do it off, see how that works. That actually wasn't that hard. All right, front wheels on. Now let's see. Okay, it's so long I can't keep holding onto the handlebars. But that wasn't that bad. Put the kickstand down and voila, it's up. Not the easiest bike in the world to put in the back of your truck, but definitely doable. Now I'll just tie it down. All right, here we are. The E-Cells, dual star, and the wired Cruiser step-through bike, side by side. Very cool looking bike. I love the color of this thing. It's orange or whatever it is. Really neat. Extremely similar bikes. A couple of key differences. That tiny little headlight. I don't know that I dislike it, but compared to this one, beast. The front end on this thing is just huge compared to the front end of that one. I love the double wall chain guard on this one. This one doesn't have that. We've already popped the chain off of this one a couple of times. And one key thing is down here, these bolts right here that hold this rack together, they shake loose. You got to be careful with that one on your wired. On the E-Cells, these bolts are like the Loctite kind of bolts. This thing is not going to shake loose. So much more solid in there. But anyhow, there it is. A little side-by-side comparison between the two. This is definitely a lot stiffer to turn than this one, just because of the dual crown forks. Makes it so much easier to turn. Makes it feel a lot more nimble. All right, I'm here. Got the bike in and out of the truck by myself without too much difficulty. Now, I have to say something that I don't want to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you get a new Dual Star and you're wondering why your range is a little shorter than advertised, like I was, make sure you turn this back battery on. I literally just found that power switch. Actually, my friend found the power switch for me. So the first 3 rides I've taken on this bike, I have solely been using the front battery. I have not even, this is the first ride I'm going to take with the back battery even turned on. So there you go. All right, let's get going. Let's hit this trail. This is going to be a fun trail. It's really going to test this bike. It's a pretty chill fire road at first. Then it's going to go to a pretty gnarly single track, crazy downhill with some super, super sharp hairpin turns, rocks, ruts, crazy trail. A lot of water crossings. Really going to test this bike today. Let's go. All right, well, now we start the climb. Put it in a little lower gear for it, help it not have to work as hard. Got it on pedal assist 4. No throttle right now. Making easy work of this climb. So I'll be climbing like this for roughly 5-6 miles, mostly up. A couple of really short downhill sections here, but mostly just this fire road climb up to the top. I'll join up again when we get up into the single track and it gets a little narrower. But, as for now, yeah, this is obviously going to make real quick work of this fire road climb. Holy smokes, I'm going 17, 18 miles an hour up this hill. And I'm in gear 3, and I'm not in PS5, I'm in 4. I've got a lot more power, and I haven't touched the throttle. All right, I know I said I was going to check in when I got up to the single track, and I'm still on the fire road, still climbing, but I just had to comment on this. This thing is amazing. I almost switched the pedals out to my clip-in, rock pedals so I could wear my mountain bike shoes and pull up on the climbs, because I know this is a steep climb. I've had to turn the power down on this coming up. Hey, it's been too much at times. Like I went into pedal assist 5 and I had to immediately turn it back down. I've not had to use the throttle. I have used the throttle just to feel what it feels like, but I haven't had to use the throttle at all. This thing is so powerful. I am flying up this hill with absolute ease. I feel like I'm on a little enduro motorcycle more than a mountain bike. This thing's incredible. And now I'm on throttle a little bit right now. Let's open it up coming up this hill. Look at this. Fly up this thing. Woo! All right. Well, I'm back here only 5.5 miles. But all 5.5 miles of pretty steep, crazy climbing, working this motor hard. I'm rating 63 volts. And now it's time to get into the single track and check the nimbleness of this bike, which, let's face it, this is not a very nimble bike. This is a beast. Aviation, this would be like a B-2 bomber. And this trail was designed for the A4, what's it called, the A4 Skyhawk, I think. A4, the tiny little nimble jet. This is not that, but hey, so far, no problem whatsoever getting around these little rocks. Shoot, feels nimble enough for me. You see when some of these bushes grow together, these handlebars are pretty wide, but actually, they're not that much wider than my mountain bike handlebars. I think about it. I'm just sitting up a lot higher. Okay, here we go. Whoa. That wasn't bad. Actually kind of got up over it. Sweet. Hey, this thing is actually handling this really, really well. I am very pleasantly surprised with how nimble this bike feels, being how big it is. I did not expect this. I am flying. I feel like slowing down a little bit. Let's knock it down into pedal assist 3. This is awesome. Well, I made it to the top of this climb at 6.5 miles, 26 minutes. I just flew up here. This thing is an absolute monster. With the Tannis liners installed in it, I'm like fearless of getting flat. I don't know if I should be or not. It's my first experience with Tannis liners, so everything I've heard about them is that they're amazing, and I shouldn't be getting a flat with simple thorns and things I'd run into out here. This thing is an absolute monster. Love it. Now it's time to see how it handles this single track downhill. But first, let's leave my little make it a great day dollar bill for someone to find out here on the trail. Leave it off to the side and somewhat hide it with a rock so someone finds that dollar bill and remembers to make it a great day. Beautiful up here. All right. Oh, where am I at with voltage here? I've got, what does that say? 62.5 volts. So I'm still plenty of battery left here. All right, let's go down. All right, here we are. Beautiful view down into the valley. From here, we just drop on down in. Woo! Let's test this suspension, boy. What you got, dual crown? What you got? Oh, this thing is awesome. Whoa. Okay, all right, there's the first little hairpin turn. All right. Well, not gonna lie, this is definitely easier on my dog-leg e-bike, which is built more for this kind of riding. This, I don't think that this was built really with this specific purpose in mind. That said, this thing is handling it great. I don't plan on doing too much of this kind of riding with this bike, but I definitely wanted to take it out here at least once, put it through the ringer here, and just see what it's capable of, and holy cow, am I amazed. Now I have to say, my feet have slipped off the pedals like 3 times already. So there's definitely an argument to be made for me to switch these pedals back to my cleat mountain bike pedals that I can lock in on for this real technical terrain. That's, for me, that's just how I'm used to riding this kind of terrain. But definitely don't need it. The last time I did this ride, at this point in the downhill, my chain, I was on my dog leg electric e-bike, mountain bike, trail, purpose-built mountain bike. My chain had fallen off at least a half a dozen times by now. My chain has not fallen off once. Coming down this crazy downhill with gnarly, just crazy bumps And this chain is held on, no problem. So, and that guard is actually better than the dog leg e-bike. It is nowhere near as nimble though, I have to say that. All right, well, the dual star held up absolutely amazingly. I am actually shocked at how well it took that technical downhill. I forgot to mention the rear shock is adjustable, and I did set it to the medium setting because I knew I was going to be hitting it hard going down that hill. Worked out really well. I didn't bottom out once. And now hooking back up with the fire road, and there should be, oh, what happened? Oh, how funny. After all that downhill, my chain finally, well, it's self-corrected, so whatever. The chain came off the big ring for just a second, but then it guided itself right back on because of that secondary, the dual guard, the one on the inside, one on the outside. So that was cool. I just kept pedaling and it just fixed itself. All right, now these water crossings are drying up. No throttle needed to get up out of that. Beautiful. Never know if there's people coming around the blind corners. Going this fast, I'd rather give people a heads up that I'm coming. There we go. Woo. Let's test the water rating on this dual star, huh? With that potted controller, this thing is very waterproof. Only thing I'd be a little bit cautious about is getting water up on this display, up on the handlebars, which, unless you're washing your bike or something, or it's raining, not too much danger of that. And just a couple weeks ago, every single one of these water crossings was full. They're drying up. All right, well, normally right here, I'm 3 miles away from the campground, which is basically where I started. I parked my truck just outside that campground. I've gone just over 10 miles, so it'd be another 4 miles or so back out, and that would have almost killed my dogleg e-bike. I would have had a few more miles I could have done on the dogleg, but I'd be done. Right now, I'm looking still at 62 volts, which I don't have my cheat sheet up, but I think that's still like 70, 80%. I have a ton of battery left. So I'm just gonna keep cruising. I'm gonna go left. Holy cow. Front wheel just lifted off. I just accidentally did a wheelie. This thing's so powerful. Well, let's go check out some more stuff. This thing is so quiet. I don't know if, deep gravel pit right there, just handled it like nothing. I don't know if over the wind noise you're able to hear how quiet this bike is, but it's just almost silent. You see it. All right, this is the end. There's only a 1 mile, 0.9 of a mile to climb up to get to this vista up here. It just gets really steep after this bridge. So I'm gonna keep up some momentum here and see how this bike climbs this extremely steep hill. I have no idea what percentage this grade is. So sorry, for those of you who are wondering, I don't know. Very, very steep. Probably steeper than the California incline on your little tail happy TV review guy. I'm going 23 miles an hour. I'm going to gear down. I'm all the way up in gear 6, so I'm going to go down to 4. Stop putting so much pressure on this motor. Let the gears help it. I'm pedaling and throttling, full throttle. Slowing down a little. 18 miles an hour now. 19 up this tremendously steep hill. There's a whole new level of cheating. Holy cow. I'm already almost to the top. Safe to say I have never climbed this hill this fast. Holy smokes. Oh, and I'm in pedal assist 3 too. I'm not even in 5. Let's go to 5. That was fun. Well, I gotta say, this bike, I know I've already said this before, it really amazed me how it handled that single track trail. And now the range on this thing, still having like over 60% battery left. I've gone about 16 miles, 15.7 miles. No, sorry, 16.6 miles. I don't have my glasses on. Absolutely incredible. No wobble whatsoever. I've heard of people saying that there's another bike out there that has a wobble. Yeah, that wired cruiser that we saw earlier, it has a little bit of a wobble. I tell you, I wouldn't be super comfortable taking that bike, the wired cruiser, out on that section of the trail that I went. I'd be totally fine taking it here, staying on the fire road, you know, it'd be chill for here, but I don't know that I would take that cruiser up on that single track and down that single track like I would this. I don't think I'd feel as comfortable on that bike up there. Alright, well, anyway, that's about it for today. I'm probably a good 4 or 5 miles away from the truck still, but it's pretty much just this boring, another couple miles of paved road and then that dirt road, a couple little water crossings. I'm back at the truck. All right, I'm back. That was fun. That was average speed 15.2, Time 1 hour 27 minutes. Distance 22.22 miles. Average speed 15 miles. I think I said that at the beginning. She looks a little different than she did before we took off, huh? I put her through the ringer. Tested this thing out, stayed steady. Did not lose anything. Zipper did not come undone. Tool bag is secure. Remember to turn that power switch on, guys. Your boy forgot for the first few rides. Shifted absolutely perfectly. I had one incident where somehow this chain got up above here for just a second, but it completely corrected itself in like 2 pedal strokes. Only time it went off the ring. My other bike, it goes off the ring when you look at it sideways. Woo! All right. Oh, and I'm official. Guys, see this? Class 2, 750 watt, 20 miles an hour. If anybody asks, that's what it is. We know the truth. Almost forgot to go over the display on the bike. So the bike shows 20.9 miles, so it's a little off. It's not quite right. And it's showing 57.3 volts right now. For my chart for percentage, volts, 57.6 is 50%, so I'm still close to about 50% battery life after going 22 miles and I'd say roughly 1,600 feet of elevation gain. It was a lot of climbing. And this bike still has, I could go do it again. That's amazing. All right, I think that'll end it for the video today. Next time I'll do a video, hopefully next weekend, me and my buddy on his wired cruiser, we'll do a little side-by-side comparison. I've got a 40-mile ride around Lake Casitas planned out for both of us to go on, so that'll be the next one, hopefully.